Okay, so you want to know how to create an eBay ad that sells? Well, in this video, I'm going to show you how to do just that. Now, before I actually go to eBay, I want to talk about a few important things. So the first thing you want to do is do your eBay research, which we have already done. And in any order, you can go ahead and do these. How to take images and how to take a video that you make and put it onto eBay. You also need to write your description, what your product is, the condition of it is very important, whether it's used, whether it's brand new meaning it's never been touched before, and why you're selling it. People want to know why you're selling it. Because if you think about it, if you're the buyer and you're wondering why I'm selling a certain laptop, is it broken? Why am I selling it? Is it because I got a new laptop? Most of the time, if you say that you got something new and you're replacing that old product, then you'll get higher bids. But if you're saying, okay, well, there's something broken with it or I don't like it, then somebody's going to get a fishy idea that there's something majorly wrong with the product. So you got to be honest. So not only do you get more bids, but you get better feedback in the long run by being honest. And then you need to learn about shipping. Talk about shipping terms such as, how much does it cost for shipping? What kind of shipping options are you providing? What are your terms? Payment offers. Most of the time you want to offer PayPal. So if you don't have a PayPal.com account, go to PayPal.com and sign up for an account. And then you need to talk about refund terms. Are you selling it as is? No refunds, 30-day back guarantee. If there is a refund, your buyer needs to pay for the shipping, things like that. You need to be very, very clear about the terms in a kind manner, but straightforward. You don't want to scare people away from after they read your terms. You want to do it in a kind manner, but you need to be serious about it and straightforward. So let's assume that I have all this material, I have the description, I have, all that terms, shipping, PayPal, refund terms, and all that. Then let's go ahead and go to eBay. If you want to start to sell, you go to ebay.com, make sure that you're logged in, and then click on Sell an Item. If you have never sold an item before, I'd highly recommend that you check out the selling tips here. So click on Sell an Item, and here's where you'll actually pick your categories. So basically where your listing is going to be located. While the category is quite important, the way you actually give your title, that's very important too. So in this case, I can say Toshiba satellite laptop. And I want to customize my listing, or you can keep it simple. If you've never done this before, I'd recommend that you keep it simple. Just because we'll actually be included photos and videos later on, and I'll show you that in a minute. If you customize your listing, you're going to have a lot more things, like formats, different selling formats, different designs, and things like that. But to be honest, in my experience, multiple selling formats, sometimes they work, sometimes they don't, because most people are mainly looking for the product itself. So it's the way you talk about your description, it's the way you handle your images and possibly videos. If you include videos, then that's great. So we'll just keep it simple. So go ahead and click on Start Selling. And we need to pick the category. So here's the suggested categories. And I'll go ahead and choose that here. And I've selected the laptop and notepads category. And the second thing you want to do is you want to add a photo. And extra photos cost 15 cents more. I'd say that depending on what you're selling, if you believe that if somebody sees the front and they'd like to see the back of the product or the inside of the product, if you think that a photo of the back view, if you were the buyer, ask yourself, if I'm going to see the back of this product, I would probably buy it. And if you answer yes, then you probably want to add more photos. It's only 15 cents more, and 15 cents compared to what you might be getting is not that bad. So I would recommend that you add a photo and you add an extra photo. But if you're using the videos, which I'll show you in a minute in the next video, then you really don't need all these photos. The video will basically take care of all that. So you could just add one photo if you're doing a video. If you're not doing a video, you probably want to add at least 2 photos. The more the better. And then you have the option called Gallery Plus. By default, or originally, it's going to be checked, but I don't actually want that. The next thing you want to do is describe the item that you're selling and the condition of the item. So be very honest about this. If you've never used this product ever before, then it's a new and sealed in the box. If you used it for a week, then it's going to be used. And you can say that. You can tell people, I use this for a week, and then I bought another one, or I got a present. So basically tell what it is and why you're selling it. In this case, I'm doing a laptop, so I want to be sure that I choose everything like the brand name, the screen size. Of course, this section here is the part where you want to add about your product, a description. So basically write your description, what it is. So what it is I am selling my Toshiba laptop, or you want to get more detailed, Toshiba Satellite A215 laptop, and the condition, it is used, I only used it for 1 month. The reason for selling it, which is probably the biggest reason, because people are going to think, why is he selling this thing? So my reason for selling was because I received a brand new laptop which was better than this laptop as a birthday present, and I have no use for this one. This is probably the #1 reason why people sell things, is because they got something and they don't need it. That's probably the reason why you're selling. And then you want to talk about your shipping terms, and you can say, I accept PayPal. This item is sold as is. And I will say, if you have a refund policy such as 30-day or 7-day, whatever, that's better than saying the item is sold as is. However, it depends on you. Do you want to hassle with it? If it's broken, you want to live up to it, things like that. If you say it's sold as is, people take the extra risk. But that means that people are more reluctant to actually bidding. And eBay also gives you some tips here if you don't know where to start. And the #5 thing is to set a price and shipping details. Now, as far as bidding goes, I will say this. Most people, if you put it at 1 cent, and let's say your product is worth at least $100, $200, if it is truly worth $100, $200 and people have to get that, such as an Xbox or PlayStation, things like that, then people will automatically bid. The lower your bid is, the more bids you'll get. The more bids you get, the more people will want it. And I've seen this case too. It's a risk to take, but most of the time you come out making more money. And here's why. If you bid and you start the auction bid at $100, most of the time, most people are going to be very reluctant to bid on your item. You might have one person bid on your item, and you might have 2 people. But if you started at 1 cent, you might have 20, 30 people bid on it, and those 20 or 30 people are going to want that product. So with that said, you can increase your actual bidding rate. You can see how long you want to last, or I'd recommend starting your product on a Thursday and choosing 10 days, because what happens is that it ends on a Sunday. Thursday I found was the best time to start, ending at 10 days, and you actually increase the bid amount because Sunday is the day that most people bid, and you can actually increase your profits that way. You can add a buy it now to your listing, which allows people to buy the product immediately, but honestly, I just keep away from this listing here. And then you can choose your shipping here. For example, let's say that you're only going to provide media mail, or since this is a laptop, you're only going to provide UPS ground. So go ahead and fill that information out and make sure that you understand what you've checked here. If you agree with it, if you check here, that means that you can add the return policy that the buyer has 7 days to return the item for the money back. This would actually increase your bids because you're dealing with an electrical item, but it's merely up to you. Then you have number 6 here, decides how you'd like to be paid. So if the person bids, they win, where are they going to pay to? If you don't have a PayPal account, go ahead and create a PayPal account here. And make sure you fill in your email information here. And it costs 55 cents to insert your listing. Once you're done, you can just go ahead and click on Save and Preview.